Ladies, being done with love is not that bad of a place to be in. Hear me out. When all you've done is loved too hard and experienced heartbreak after heartbreak and letdown after letdown as a result, maybe it's time to detach from finding the one. Maybe it's not such a bad thing that you're tired. Because loving too hard usually comes with centering men. And when you center men and want love so bad, you attract men that benefit from how deeply you love, not men who can match it. Something about giving up on love and not caring so much about finding a man that naturally raises your standards. Because when you stop searching, you stop settling. When you're no longer desperate to be chosen, you become the one who chooses. You no longer need a man to validate you or alleviate your loneliness because you know where that has gotten you in the past. And you're good on that. You're no longer so excited over a man giving you attention because you now have doubts. You have a guard up. And in order for him to surpass those doubts, he's going to have to be remarkable. Men no longer impress you unless they're coming with something real, demonstrating consistency, and doing way more than the bare minimum. And even then, you're still not attaching too quickly and keeping a safe distance just to ensure he doesn't switch up on you. I've been seeing this discourse that women who hate men end up in the best relationships, and I feel it's true. Women like this don't need a man. They don't romanticize men. They don't pedestal them. They don't center them. They're not bitter. They know that there are some good men out there, but they know most don't qualify. So they're not about to go searching for them. And being tired of men, love, and dating and about ready to give up on it all doesn't mean true love can't get to you. It doesn't mean you're going to be alone forever. It just means you're finally choosing you, that you're done searching for love and will let it find you. And in the meantime, you're just doing you and finding love in other places and platonic connections. You're fulfilling your life in other ways. And when the right man shows up, one that's ready to truly love you because of the stance you've taken and the way you filled your life up with you, he will have to be a man that adds a value and peace to your life. He will have to be a man that can join in your life, not one that demands you to compromise so he can fit into your life. And this is when love begins to feel good. This is when you realize that loving hard isn't necessary. It's only necessary when you're being half-ass loved. And maybe this is what they mean when they say love happens when you least expect it. Because when you're desperate for love and chasing it, you settle. But when you stop searching and start living, love and that man has to come correct to reach you. If you're wondering why I'm reading for girlfriends, that is a post that I posted on my Instagram account and on my Threads account about a week or so ago. On today's Healing Sundays episode, I'm going to talk about when you're just over it and how that can be a good place to be in. And so when we think about detachment, we usually think about detaching from a man or detaching from someone or letting go of someone. But what if you need to detach from the control of when love would happen for you, who it would be, or how it would happen? About 10 years ago, I decided to detach from the need to control when love would happen. And it's because I had been hurt all throughout my 20s. I had I had fallen for love bombing. I was gaslit. I was emotionally abused, manipulated. I didn't take the signs as a warning. I took the signs as that maybe if I just love harder, that man would choose me and love me back. I loved way too hard. I was always trying to make love work for me and make love work with who I wanted it to work with, regardless of if they met my standards, regardless if they were a good man, and just in general. I didn't care about any of that. If the attraction was there and if I felt they wanted me, and if even if it was love bombing, it was the fact that it felt good to be wanted by someone that I was attracted to. So I went with it and I chased it and I chased the love. That was my all of my 20s was just in toxic relationships because of that and because of that line of thinking. And so once I got to 29, I began to like date for real, you know. And now, when I say date for real, I mean like actually go on dates with guys and actually get to know guys. And, instead of just finding one man that seemed to like me and then we suddenly just get into this relationship without anything really being set for real. It's just, oh, we spend all this time around each other and now I guess it's my man. I don't know. Instead of that, I actually dated, took my time and went on dates with guys and took my time to decide that if I liked them or not instead of worrying about if they like me. It was a challenge dating that way because I wasn't used to that. And so I was dating, getting to know men, and getting my heart broken. Well, not really getting my heart broken. I was being disappointed over and over again. And I was just like, you know what? Fuck love. I got to a point to where I was just tired. Tired of the disappointments, tired of the men playing games, tired of the men not being consistent, tired of the men one day acting like they like me, the next acting like they don't. I was just tired of it all. And the reason I was tired of it all is because I was no longer, looking at men's inconsistency as a reflection of who I am in my work. I was no longer looking at it as, okay, I need to do more. And so I got tired of the bullshit quicker, if you will, instead of just tolerating it and trying to maneuver around it and still force it to make it work because I like so many other things about them. So let's gonna forget these few red flags we see here and let's just, continue to try to make this work. I really wanted to work with this guy. I was no longer on that. And so I grew tired of dating quickly. And I realized that when I got to that point in my journey of just being tired of love, tired of men, tired of trying, just wanting to give up, just done with it, I realized that a part of me was set free. And it was like I had gotten to a point in my life to where finding a man did not have to be the center of my life anymore. I couldn't make it the center of my life because, I'm tired. I'm tired of trying so hard. I'm tired of loving so hard. I was just tired of it all, honestly. And with me being tired of men, tired of dating, tired of the letdowns, tired of the disappointments, it put me in a different place, in a different headspace, if you will. It made me realize that I can't make love, romance, a man the center of my life. Because if I do that, then that means I'm living a life of disappointment. I'm living a life of in this constant state of unhappiness, unfulfillment, because I am tired of the shit I was going through. And so it hit me that that's how my life was going because I was making dating just the center of it. I was getting so frustrated with it. And so I said, you know what? I'm just not going to care anymore. And I feel like I got to a place of not caring because I knew now, I had seen enough that most men cannot meet my standards. Most men are full of it. Most men are not going to come correct. Most men are just not it. I'm not compatible with most men. And I had to come to that realization. And that put me in a place of more peace and also got me to really just living my life for me. It got me to really focusing on myself. It's like once you get to that place of not caring, you are now detaching from the outcome. Because in all honesty, being attached to the outcome, that means every man you go on a date with, every man that you meet, deep down, you're hoping that he is the one. Maybe you two had good conversation. There are some things you like about each other, some things you have in common. Now, just based off of one or maybe two dates, you're excited about him and you feel like this is the one. You're hoping he is the one. So you are attached to that outcome and that idea. And when you become so attached to that outcome with that man, you begin to miss the red flags. You begin to slowly settle. You begin to lose yourself because everything in you is wanting that relationship to work out or wanting that potential relationship to work out. And so when you have everything riding on it, you're so attached to that outcome. That's when the heartbreak sets in. That's when you begin to be disappointed. I had gotten to that point. I was so attached to the outcome. I was so attached to finding a husband, finding a man, finding a one. And it made me anxiously attached to every man that I met and dated because I was anxiously attached to the thought of having love and romance in my life. That's all I wanted. I wanted that outcome. I wanted that to come true. And so I was in a state of forcing it and wanting it to happen and making any man possibly be the one. And I feel like men that are at least secure within themselves and centered in themselves can tell when a woman just wants any man to be the one. That there's nothing really special about him to her, that she doesn't really like him like that. She just wants a husband, wants a man, and she wants one now. And that's what I was on. And I'm pretty sure I ran off some potentially good guys. I'm sure I did. And I have no regrets in that because I wasn't obviously ready for that in my life at that time. Because I just wanted any man to be the man. And even if those guys were good guys, they probably weren't really the ones for me. Just because a man is a good guy doesn't mean he is the one. But because I wanted love so badly, I was trying to force it, whether that man was compatible with me or not. Attaching to the outcome is how you get your heart broken. That's how I got my heart broken so many times. That's how I became so disappointed and when it didn't work out with a guy that I thought was going to be the one. And so I got tired of that, you know? I got tired of these like mini heartbreaks and these disappointments. And so I decided once and for all for myself that I don't care anymore. You know, I'm just tired. I don't care. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I don't care. I detach from the outcome. And when I detach from the outcome, lo and behold, that's when I met my husband. I wasn't expecting for him to be the one, you know? I wasn't expecting for anything to come from that. I didn't have any outcome in mind. I didn't care about the outcome. I got to know him, went on the dates. I'm like, okay, I like him. I like what I know about him so far. I wasn't, I wasn't naming things that weren't there about him. You know, just because he texted when he said he was or took me on a date like he said he was, I wasn't like, oh, that means he's consistent. No, that means that, okay, you like what he's doing so far. Let's not name what he's doing. Let's just say you like it. And so I was naturally taking my time getting to know him. I was naturally like leaving space for him to pursue me, because I did not care. I did not care if he was the one. And really, deep down, a part of me was like, this is not going to go anywhere. It never goes anywhere. I'm open to it, but a part of me is just like, whatever. And then plus, I had really started to like my life. I really started to enjoy my life and find other goals in life that didn't involve a man. And so when I went on a date with who I didn't know was going to be my husband, that's now my husband, I just really had a don't care attitude. On a date with my husband, I ordered like hot wings, like wet hot wings, and this big large margarita. I didn't care what he thought of me. I didn't care if he liked that I ordered that or was going to like me. I did not care. And I distinctly recall on a date with a guy that I was just talking to and really wanted an outcome with, I recall ordering a salad. And I think I ordered some little small girly drink. I recall just really trying to like be somebody that I thought that he would want. Or I was just really performing, wasn't even really being myself. And look where that got me. And so on the date with my husband, I didn't care. I'm like, I want some hot wings and I want my blue cheese dressing. And he was just like, oh, you like blue cheese? That's surprising. Most people don't like that. I'm like, well, I'm not most people. I like blue cheese. Got what I wanted, got my big drink. I'm just like, whatever. And the conversation flowed. And I realized he wasn't like taken aback by me or me being myself or anything, And we just enjoyed each other's time, company, and talking about music, movies, everything. And it just flowed. And I was just being myself. And because I didn't care. I feel like when a woman gets to that point to where she doesn't care about having a man, yet she knows she wants one. She does want to, she does want romance. She does want a relationship. When a woman gets to that point of not caring if that man is the one or not, she's not attached to the outcome. Magic can happen, if you will. Anything can happen. And so it's just like, yeah. That's why I say it's okay to get to a point to where you are tired of love, tired of dating, tired of men. You're just tired of the whole thing. And when you get to that point, you don't care so much anymore. It's a good place to be in. I think that's a place that women need to get in, because when we want love so bad and we love so much, we tend to latch on to undeserving men. Give our love to undeserving men, if you will. And ladies, I'm not saying that when you get to this place of just being done with love, that it means that you don't want love anymore. You being done with love doesn't mean that love cannot find you. It just means that when love finds you, when that man finds you, he is going to have to be remarkable. He is going to have to be significant. Significant enough to where you slowly start to let your guard down and you slowly start to care about love again. I'm not saying you're in a place of bitterness, but you're in a place of, it is what it is. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, I won't fall apart. I feel like when we women are in that place of, we are going to fall apart if we don't meet a man in time, if we don't find love, if it doesn't work out with a man we really wanted to work out with. When we get to a place of when we don't fall apart from that, it's like we reclaim ourselves. And it's like that we start to not make men the focal point of our lives. We decenter men, if you will. And sometimes I feel like that's what it takes in order for us to get to that point to where we are not basing our whole entire existence around men and having a man. It's like we've gotten out there enough and we've seen what it's like. We've been disappointed so many times. It's just like, I don't care anymore. I am done with love now. If it finds me, so be it. If it doesn't, I'll be okay. It's like you're making peace with it. And it's like you're finally detaching from the need to control how love happens, when love happens, and who it happens with. We have no control over that. And I don't feel like being at this point means love cannot come into your life. It's just that when love does come into your life, you'll know for sure then that it's right, because it's going to fit into your life. You're no longer trying to force it to fit. You're no longer ignoring red flags, or you're no longer falling for the love bombing. You're no longer that same woman before that wanted love so bad that she was willing to settle and willing to shrink herself in order for that man and love to fit into her life. And it is okay to get to that point. So when I see ladies saying that, I'm done with love, I'm so tired, I'm giving up, I can't do this anymore, I'm tired of trying, I'm tired of the men out here, I'm tired of this. When I see women declare that, I know that they're getting to the point to where real love can happen for them organically without them having to force it or look for it. That I know that more than likely a man is going to enter their life unexpectedly, and then that man is going to become a constant in their life. That man is going to become the one, because they're not so attached to what the outcome is, and they're just being themselves. And when that woman is just being herself, living her life, she's fulfilled in other ways, and then the man just pops in, that's more of a way for you to realize that that is someone that is truly compatible with you, because you are now just living your life for you, and he wants to join in and enjoy seeing you live your life for you, and he wants to enjoy your life with you. And I truly feel like that when I just let go and detach from the outcome, and I just said, I'm done with trying love so hard like this, I'm done with trying to force love to be with who I want it to be, I just feel like that just made space for love to happen when it was going to happen for me. And that's why I say I didn't do anything special to get a husband. I didn't follow all these dating rules or these games. I didn't contort myself to be for any man. I was just being myself. And I didn't settle. I found a man that wanted love and wanted me without me having to make him, you know? I found a man that was just consistent and pursuing me. A man that was wanting the same things I want. A man that I didn't have to make love me. You know? I was no longer expecting love to happen for me. You know? I was no longer searching for it like that. But on one hand, I knew that I did want love, but I also stopped romanticizing it, you know, if you will. And I began to look at the reality of it is that most men are not compatible with me. Most men are not going to meet my standards, and that is okay. And so I think when I got to that point of being tired of love and done with love is when I got to the point of realizing that most men don't meet my standards, and that is okay. I can't expect every man to meet my standards. And it's like letting go of my expectations and holding on to my standards is what helped me to detach from the outcome of finding the one, or the outcome with any man that I meet being the one, you know? It was more so now I have my doubts about the man I'm going on dates with, because it's like, I doubt that you can meet my standards. I doubt this is going to last long. I doubt this is going to be anything that I want it to be. And with me having those doubts, it's like it gave that man room to be like, okay, I'm going to show you, you know? And like I said, I didn't do anything special to get a husband. It was more so really just sheer luck, honestly. I don't have any advice for how to get a husband or how to meet a husband. I never give advice on that because there's nothing you can do for that to happen in your life. You know, you can't and you shouldn't fix yourself up to where you are meeting a husband. He either wants to be a husband or he doesn't. You don't want to force a man to be your husband. And so I wasn't doing any of that, you know? I'm just like, if he does, he does. If he doesn't, he doesn't. If I get married anytime soon, I do. If I don't, I don't. If he is the one, he is. If he's not, he's not. You know? It wasn't no more of that he has to be the one. He has to be my husband. So if you're in that place of you're tired and you're done with dating, then be in that place. Don't try to force yourself out of it, and don't think that love can't ever happen for you. It can happen for you even with you still being tired of love, tired of dating. This is a good place for you to be in. It's not a bad place, especially if you know you've loved hard in your past, and if you've done everything to try to get a man, you've been with the wrong men, undeserving men. This is a good place for you to be in, girlfriends. Okay? Okay. So, that's all I got on this topic, on this Healing Sundays, and that's all I really wanted to say. I wanted to, I guess, give some encouragement if you are in this place in your life right now. If you're in a place where you're tired of love, I get it. Just know that you're tired of men not meeting your standards, and you're tired of your expectations not being met. So now it's time to lean more into your standards and understand that you can't expect every man to be able to meet your standards. And it is what it is. But love can still happen for you. And the best love will happen for you when you're just done with trying to force it to work. You know? Yeah. So that's all I got for this Healing Sundays episode. Books, coaching linked in description. And check out my podcast episode from Thursday on Decentering Men. But that's all I got, girlfriends. Peace out.